So we worked on a couple things in your setup. The very subtle thing, but it's not unimportant, is the way your feet are pointed. I know when I had you, when I kind of stood from front and said you're pointing at me, then you turn your feet. I knew you felt like your feet turned way left. They didn't turn way left. They went to the right, and it's so subtle. But here I see the outside of the ball of your foot on your left, but I don't see it on the right. When you came in, it was the opposite. We saw the outside of the ball of foot on the right, not on the left. So it's very subtle, but you're just turned a couple inches. Okay. We want the feet, the hips, and the shoulders all in the same alignment. And they are on the left. On the right, your feet are pointed just a hair more right compared to the rest of your body. Yeah, exactly. Okay. So it's subtle, but not unimportant. Okay. All right. And we tried to have we first worked on footwork. I had you feel like your first step went a hair left. And we tricked you into going less to the right. It should be called the in front step, not the crossover step. Because we want it in front. Okay. So that's pretty good there. This one here, your third step came to the right. And if that goes to the right, your slide will likely go right. Okay. So you want to back off on that tightrope thought. Okay. We did another one. Okay. Now this one here, I had you kind of focus more on 3-4. Feeling like 3-4, we're going to go a hair left to go less to the right. We did another one, I think, on that. Okay. Bad. Step one is definitely better. That's kind of what we want on one. Two might come a little bit to the left, and that goes a little bit to the right. So you still have that kind of tightrope. Okay. Think like a 2x6 instead of a tightrope. Okay. The last thing we did was we tried to really have you feel like you went to the left on 3-4. Okay. So it's getting closer. Okay. But still 3-4 came a little bit in.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. So first is clean up step one. That would be the first goal. And that's kind of what we did on this one. Better step one, you had a better step two. And three wasn't bad. Okay. You can only work on one thing at a time. But start to notice where you start and where you finish, you're already drifting less. Okay. Especially when you think go to the left with your slide, you won't go to the right. You'll end up kind of where you want to be to hit your target. Okay. And keep in mind, I really don't want these steps going way left. I'm just tricking you to not going to the right. Okay. All right. The other thing we worked on here was the push rate direction. I had you feel like your ball was out a little bit more in the stance. I think when you set up your form is kind of angled in, which makes you push out and around. So you want the form kind of straight, so that the center of the ball is just inside your shoulder, but nothing past your arm. And then as you push, that push rate should stay right inside your shoulder. Okay. And we had this push rate stay in more. Okay. So right there is your push when you felt like your ball was out in the stance, but then you pushed in. Compared to when you came in, your ball was into the stance, and then you pushed further out. Okay. We definitely see more of the ball on the right than on the left. Okay. And you start with the ball further in on the right. Okay.
Yeah.
And that'll eventually create and see even here there's more of a gap. There's more of the ball outside your shoulder. Okay. And then the ball on the right is coming in sooner. Okay. So even right there, the ball's the same height. I see your shirt to the left of your arm already over here on the right. I don't see that on the left. So straighter push, straighter swing. Okay. And you can do that at home with a mirror. That's a good drill for the mirror. Okay, so that's pretty good. The other thing we worked on, the other kind of major thing we worked on, was the feeling of a small push weight. First, we just said really small push. It still went out more on two than we wanted. And your body just likes your ball in front of you on step two. We have proof of that from last time. We have proof of that from earlier today. Your body likes your ball there. Okay. We want the ball more under your shoulder on step two. I got a hair close to your leg, but not much. So you have to exaggerate more. So this next one, I said it's going to feel like it's more just down and back instead of out. And what we tricked you into is actually going out and down better on step one. That is by far your best push rate of the day. Elbows out the front of the side. You're not locked. The hands below the elbow. The center of the ball is belt level. It goes out less on the next step. So if I compare that to your original shot, and we'll get you to the end of step one. That's a pretty good difference. That's a half a ball. You're further out and further down on the left than on the right. So on the right, you carried it. When you think down below the waist on one, you don't have time to carry it. Okay. And then if I click these two together, the ball on the left will keep dropping. The ball on the right will keep going out. That's a big difference now. Look at that. We got your hand ball crossing your knee on the left. It's a big difference. You're still going out on the right. Okay. So your step is related to your push. If it's a big push, you better have a big step or you're going to fall over. Okay. So that's way better timing. And you can kind of see the bottom of the ball is right between your legs there. So it's under your shoulder. So that's 2 points of timing to really be aware of is on step one, we want the center of the ball out and down, the center of the ball around belt level. And then down and back more on two, we want the ball under your shoulder. Okay? That allows your swing to go up sooner. So you're done with the backswing sooner. And so you got to the finish sooner because you were less late. That's really pretty good. That gave you more swing. You know, it felt weird, but this is the best timing one. But it's going to feel like less work. Okay? It's going to give you more ball speed. It's going to get your hand through the ball cleaner.
I think that's why it feels weird.
Yeah.
Is because it feels like I'm doing less.
Right. Because you're working less in the end. There's less to do in the second half. Because you did more in the front half. Okay? Not bad. We did another one, and this is again thinking the same thing with the push. It's better than when you came in, but not as good as your best one. We're now more on two. Now we don't see a gap from your ball to your leg, but the best one was more here. Okay, so keep working on that. You did a good job of. We moved your alignment. We changed your alignment, and your body kind of countered that by drifting less. And you did a good job of kind of looking down and see where you were to make sure you're in the right spot. Whenever you feel like, whenever you drift more to the right, it's probably on 3-4. It's probably less of a factor on one, although I'm not saying you would never overcross on one anymore, but it's probably 3-4. So if you're drifting more, you think more left on 3-4. Okay. All right, excellent. Let's stop recording here.